Whose idea was the masks?
That was a guy named Billy Red Lyons when we were doing interviews up in taping interviews up in I guess it was Toronto, and Billy Red Lyons had a brother, and they apparently Billy and his brother they were heels, and they would use the masks and screw the baby faces. And he was saying, "Man, you guys are so much alike in stature. You could put those masks on and be baby faces as long as the heel got enough heat. You could still remain baby faces." Jimmy and I thought about it, and the more we talked about it, we thought, wow, this is a great idea. It really is. So we went to Vince with the idea, and he said, yeah, he liked it. So we did it. It got over big time
Oh yeah.
to the point where, uh, then he said, well, why don't you guys turn heel? And we thought about it. Uh, Even did a little thing with Hogan in Philadelphia afterwards, and I thought we were going to turn heel, and I don't know what happened. I mean, a lot of people say a lot of different things. He, yeah, I don't want to blame Jimmy, but he sued Vince before we got there and he won. Um, had I known that, I probably would have never agreed because I know Vince is going who's not going to have animosity against somebody that just
Right.
beat in a lawsuit. I mean, it's not Jimmy's fault. Uh,
Right.
he got screwed. So he hired an attorney and he won. And you know, George Scott he was the booker, and one of the last people he fired was Jimmy, and here he is now. He comes in as the booker, and there's Jimmy. I mean, it's again not Jimmy's fault at all. It's the way the cards were dealt. So
Sounded like from talking to Jim though, your run consisted of Jim and Vince button heads and you and Vince more or less getting along. Is that safe to say?
yes, exactly, safe to say. I always got along with Vince, and it's just I got along okay with George too, but I could tell, that he wasn't being truthful with us. And when I found out these things, it just bothered me. I couldn't believe, that I didn't know that Jimmy had sued him and won, and that Jimmy got fired um, by George, and I got to know George good afterwards, even after he used to come to Legends Lunch all the time. I mean, we were friends, and I have no, animosity towards George whatsoever. People do things for a reason. You don't always understand, but I give them the benefit of the doubt. So whatever they did, they did. It just it hurt the Killer Bees as far as being the rightful tag team champions, which we should have been without a doubt. Everybody knew that. Everybody. It wasn't like anybody in the locker room. There was nobody in the locker room that didn't think the Killer Bees should have been the tag team champions during our day.
Right. Agreed. Definitely agreed. Brian, I could talk to you for the next 2 weeks. We haven't even scratched the surface of your great career. If someone wants to learn more about your career, is there something they should pick up anywhere to learn
Absolutely.
about the man himself?
Yeah, man, this is it. I'll tell you what, everybody that's read this book, truth be told, honestly, everybody. I mean, go to Amazon and look, and sell it on my own website, or Amazon. And I mean, I've said it before. I'll give you twice your money back if you don't like it. I'm gonna ask you a few questions to make sure you read it, but nobody's ever said they didn't like it. I mean, it's just Ian Douglas is an incredible. I mean, Steve Kern's books are great. He's just coming out with his second one, and the books Ian Douglas does are fantastic. The guy's brilliant, and
What is your website, Brian?
my website. Well, I didn't talk about the Cauliflower Alley Club, so that's my website. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org because that's what I live for right now. Besides my family is and my good friends, and the good people of this world is my colleagues. And so I work hard at the Cauliflower Alley Club, and you can go to caulifloweralleyclub.org, and for $35, you can become a member. And that's so important to me because, we help so many of the wrestlers. And I've been the president and CEO for over a decade, and we have just grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, we just had an unbelievable reunion. And if you haven't been to a Cauliflower Alley Club reunion, you have no idea what you're missing. So uh, caulifloweralleyclub.org. My personal website for the Killer Bee store is the killerbees.net/store.